He's not just one man, he's 24 different people living in the same body. Some are calm, some are brilliant, but one of them is a predator. And when the beast finally wakes up, you'll wish he never did.
Kevin Wendell Crumb.
Rejoice! Your heart is pure.
Let's go.
The movie begins with Casey, a quiet and distant girl who rarely connects with anyone. She's always alone, always observing. Her classmates Claire and Marcia are finishing up a small party, packing their things as Claire's dad arrives to take them home. But Casey's ride isn't coming. The car broke down, so Claire's dad kindly invites her to ride with them. The three girls get into the parked car while the father loads the bags in the trunk. But before he finishes, a strange man approaches out of nowhere and knocks him out cold. That man is Kevin Wendell Crumb. He climbs into the driver's seat like nothing happened. Claire, confused, tells him, "I think you're in the wrong car." But Kevin doesn't answer. Instead, he sprays them with a knockout drug. Everything fades. When Casey wakes up, she's trapped in a locked room with only a sliver of light and two terrified classmates beside her, and they have no idea who or what took them. As the girls try to figure out what's happening, the only door in the room slowly opens. A man wearing glasses steps in silent, emotionless, and points to Marcia. She's taken away without a word. Minutes later, he returns. Marcia is crying, shaken, and barely able to speak. She mutters through sobs that he asked her to dance, but she panicked. She wet herself in fear, and that's when he got angry. He didn't say much, just grunted in rage before slamming the door shut again. Claire tries to comfort her, assuring them it'll be okay, that they'll get out. But Casey stays quiet, trembling. Trapped not just in the room, but in her own past. Her uncle, a rugged man named John, once told her stories about predators, prey, and how nature doesn't wait for the weak. She remembered her dad being there too, calm and steady, and for a moment it all felt safe. But those memories quickly fade as the scene shifts. This is Dr. Karen Fletcher, a respected psychiatrist with an unusual patient, a man named Barry. Just as she begins her day, she notices breaking news on the television behind her. 3 teenage girls have been abducted, and from that moment, everything begins to unravel. As Dr. Fletcher glances at her computer, she notices a new email has just come in. It's from Barry, one of her regular patients requesting a therapy session. Nothing unusual, she thinks. Shortly after, Barry arrives. He walks into her office, confident and calm. But we already know this isn't really Barry. This is Kevin, the same man who abducted the 3 girls. What Dr. Fletcher doesn't realize is that Kevin suffers from a rare and complex condition known as dissociative identity disorder, or DID. This mental disorder is typically the result of intense childhood trauma, where the mind creates alternate identities as a defense mechanism, each personality emerging to protect the host from pain and fear. People with DID don't just pretend to be someone else, they become them. Each identity can have its own name, voice, attitude, even physical traits. In Kevin's case, it's far more extreme. According to Dr. Fletcher's records, Kevin has developed a total of 23 distinct personalities, each one with a unique behavior. Some are kind, some are shy, and some are dangerous. One of those darker personalities is Dennis, a strict, cold, and obsessive figure who has now started to take control. Every time Kevin visits Dr. Fletcher for a therapy session, the man who claims to be Barry, a soft-spoken fashion designer, is actually one of Kevin's personalities. He even shows Dr. Fletcher sketches of dresses he's designed. But down in the basement, something far darker is happening. Claire tries to convince Marcia and Casey to fight back if the kidnapper returns. But Casey stays quiet. Claire believes time is running out and escape is their only chance. But Casey says no. They don't know enough yet. She promises she'll help them, but only once she understands who they're really dealing with. Peering through a crack in the door, the girls suddenly spot a woman in a long red dress. Hope surges through them. They scream, beg for help. But when the door opens, they're stunned. The woman is Kevin, or more precisely, Patricia, one of his alternate personalities, calm, composed, and strangely nurturing.
Don't worry, I'll talk to him. He listens to me.
But she's not here to save them. In fact, she's the one who planned their abduction. She believes the 3 girls are necessary sacrifices for a new personality who's about to arrive, someone she calls the Beast. After Patricia leaves, Kevin returns again, this time as Dennis. Obsessive about cleanliness, Dennis walks in with a bucket and orders the girls to scrub the bathroom. Later that night, the door creaks open again, and this time, a child appears.
My name's Hedwig. I have red socks.
Hedwig is Kevin's 9-year-old personality. He talks like a kid, acts like a kid, but the danger is still real. He tells them someone else is coming soon, someone who wants to eat them. Shocked, Casey asks who, but Hedwig just whispers he's on the move. Realizing the man who took them suffers from a mental disorder, Casey tries to manipulate Hedwig, using his innocence to gain his trust and convince him to help them escape, but it doesn't work. Hedwig is scared of Patricia and quickly slams the door shut. Desperate, the girls start searching for another way out. They begin cutting through the ceiling to reach a vent, but Dennis catches them. He storms into the room just in time to stop them. Claire manages to escape and hides inside a locker.
I thought I lost you. Please.
You shouldn't
Then punishes her by locking her alone in another room, isolated. Next, we see Kevin again, now fully dressed as Patricia, carefully grooming Casey and Marcia, brushing their hair, choosing their clothes. Once they look presentable, Patricia invites them to a formal dinner. In a dimly lit dining room, Casey and Marcia sit quietly while Patricia prepares the table. Tension fills the air, but Marcia is watching, waiting for a chance. When Patricia looks away, Marcia grabs a heavy chair, stands up, and slams it into her back. It lands hard. But nothing happens. Patricia doesn't even react. She straightens up slowly and turns. Unfazed, terrified, Marcia bolts. She runs through the corridors looking for a door, a window, anything. Casey remains frozen at the table, unable to move. Patricia quickly chases Marcia down and catches her again. Without saying a word, she locks her in a separate room, alone. Kevin returns once again to visit Dr. Fletcher, this time using the calm and composed personality of Barry. During the therapy session, he begins to open up, slowly revealing the truth behind his fractured mind. He talks about his past, the pain, and the reason why his mind created 23 different personalities. It all started in 2005. Kevin's father died in a tragic train accident, leaving him alone in the care of his mother. What followed was years of emotional and physical abuse. His mother, unstable and violent, punished him for even the smallest things. As a child, Kevin couldn't defend himself. He was too scared, too fragile. The trauma became unbearable. And so, deep inside his mind, something began to take shape. His subconscious created new identities, personalities designed to protect him from the pain he couldn't handle on his own. Every personality had a purpose. Some were strong, others were calm. Some kept the memories locked away. Others stepped forward when things got dangerous. He admits that even though there are now 23 different personalities inside him, Kevin still needs something more. Someone stronger. Someone powerful enough to take full control. Someone they've started calling the Beast. They see the Beast as the purest form of strength. One night in the basement, Kevin shows up again, this time as Hedwig, the innocent, childlike version of himself. He quietly invites Casey into another room, wanting to show her something he thinks is really cool. It's a walkie-talkie. To Hedwig, it's just a toy. But to Casey, it's a chance. She picks it up and quickly starts switching through channels, trying to find anyone who might hear her. But just as she starts speaking clearly, Hedwig freezes. His face shifts, and within seconds, he transforms. Now, standing in front of her is Patricia, calm, composed, and cold. She rips the walkie-talkie out of Casey's hands and says nothing. Casey is returned to her room without another word. Shortly after, Dennis appears back in his usual neatly pressed shirt and glasses. He warns her that it's close. The Beast is about to arrive. After saying this, Dennis quietly closes the bedroom door, leaving Casey alone and afraid. Meanwhile, Dr. Fletcher begins receiving multiple emails from Barry. In his messages, Barry asks her to come to his home. He says that he and the other weaker personalities inside Kevin need help. Ever since Kevin kidnapped the 3 girls, the dominant personalities Dennis and Patricia have been appearing more frequently and taking more control. Concerned, Dr. Fletcher decides to visit. When she arrives at Kevin's residence, she's greeted not by Barry, but by Dennis. Calm and polite, he invites her inside and leads her to the basement. Once inside the living area, Dennis sits across from her and starts talking, not nervously, not erratically, but with disturbing calm. He tells her they're all waiting for someone who is about to arrive, the 24th personality. While waiting, Dennis and Patricia have been working to suppress the other personalities, silencing anyone who might interfere. Only the two of them remain in control now. Dennis explains that they've been preparing something, a ritual of sorts, a sacrificial offering meant to welcome the beast. Dr. Fletcher's expression changes. She senses something is terribly wrong. Pretending she needs to use the bathroom, she excuses herself and quietly begins investigating the rooms in the basement. She opens one door and gasps. Lying on the floor is Claire, weak, barely conscious. At that moment, it becomes clear. The girls. They are the sacrifices. But before she can do anything, Dennis appears behind her. He sprays her with a fast-acting sedative, the same drug used on the others. With the beast's arrival now just moments away, Dennis leaves the house and heads downtown. He walks through the city streets calmly, unnoticed. He buys a single flower, a symbol, a celebration. At the old train station, Dennis quietly slips into a dark maintenance tunnel. He removes his shirt, kneels on the floor, and something inside him begins to shift. Animalistic. He moves with impossible strength, leaping, running, scaling the walls like a predator in motion. This is no longer Kevin. This is the beast. As the beast approaches, Claire and Marcia are desperately trying to escape. Dr. Fletcher regains consciousness after being drugged and realizes she's still in danger. Weak but determined, she reaches for a pen and scribbles something on a scrap of paper. Kevin's full name. Kevin Wendell Crumb. She remembers that saying a person's full name might trigger their core identity, possibly bringing Kevin back to the surface and breaking the hold of his darker personalities. Just as she finishes writing, Kevin arrives. But he's no longer the man she knew. Standing before her now is the fully transformed beast, his body swollen with bulging veins, his eyes wild, his skin tight like armor. A predator ready to strike. With trembling hands, Dr. Fletcher grabs a bread knife nearby and stabs him, but the blade bends. It has no effect. The beast doesn't even flinch. Somewhere else in the basement, Casey stumbles upon a computer. She powers it on and sees several folders appear on the desktop. Curious, she opens them one by one. Each folder contains video entries, recordings of Kevin's different personalities. She watches, stunned, as each identity speaks directly into the camera. Barry, Dennis, Hedwig, Patricia. In one video, she sees Barry taking a key from some hanging clothes. Following that clue, Casey searches the room until she finally finds the key and manages to unlock the door. The first room she enters brings horror. Marcia lies dead on the floor. In the next room, the nightmare worsens. Claire is still alive barely, but the beast is crouched over her, devouring her organs while she gasps for breath. Heading toward the main basement hall. There, she finds Dr. Fletcher's body, lifeless on the floor. Nearby, she notices a piece of paper lying on the table. A message from the doctor. She picks it up and reads the words, "Say his full name, Kevin Wendell Crumb." Just as she finishes reading, she hears something behind her. The beast is here, and he's climbing. The beast climbs the walls like a lizard, moving with terrifying speed and power. Casey, frozen in fear, stares up at the inhuman figure. In a moment of desperation, she screams his full name, Kevin Wendell Crumb. Suddenly, the beast stumbles. He clutches his head and drops to the floor. Slowly, the monstrous figure fades, and Kevin returns. Disoriented, Kevin looks around, confused and afraid. Hearing Casey's voice repeat his name triggers something buried deep within him. Memories of his abusive mother.
Wendell Crumb! You made a mess! Get out here!
Get out! The guilt floods in. Kevin sees Dr. Fletcher's lifeless body on the ground. Panic hits him. He asks Casey what's happening, why she's there. But then it all clicks. His other personalities have done something terrible. Realizing the truth, Kevin tells Casey she must end it. He points to the shotgun across the room and begs her to shoot him while he's still in control. "Do it," he says. But before she can act...
Honey, my name is Barry. Everybody just take a minute! Patricia, Dennis, and the boy. Their actions have suffered the Shahi's most crushing defeat. This is what we have to do. We can... Dennis and Miss Patricia are in charge because of me.
Stop!
Casey doesn't hesitate. She grabs the shotgun and runs, looking for shells. But before she can load it, the beast returns stronger, angrier. He charges. Casey keeps running, trying to get away from the beast. She falls and hurts her leg. It starts bleeding, but she pushes through. Behind her, the beast smashes everything in his path.
We are glorious! We will no longer be afraid! Those who have not been torn have no value in themselves and no place in this world!
She limps through the halls looking for a place to hide, her heart racing with fear. Casey manages to find a room reinforced with metal bars. She dives inside and locks herself in, trying to buy time. From behind the bars, she fires at the beast again and again. But it's useless. The bullets slow him, but don't stop him. The beast rises, grabs the iron bars with his bare hands and begins to bend them. The steel groans as his strength warps it. He prepares for one final strike, but then something stops him. His eyes focus on Casey's exposed arms. He sees the scars, deep cuts, healed wounds, evidence of pain, of trauma.
Rejoice! Your heart is pure. The broken are the more evolved.
The beast backs away from Casey after seeing the scars on her body. They're not from some accident. They're from years of abuse wounds left by her own uncle during her childhood. The beast doesn't harm her because his rage is only for those who've never suffered. Those who, in his eyes, haven't earned survival. Then we're pulled into a memory. Young Casey, out in the woods on a hunting trip with her father and uncle. Her uncle John calls her over crouching behind a rock. He tells her to come play like animals. He's naked, smiling, and something shifts in her world forever. Later, after her father dies from illness, John becomes her guardian. "I'll take care of you now," he says. But for Casey, that moment marks the beginning of a long, quiet nightmare. Back in the present, Casey is rescued. A guard finds her and helps her out of the basement. And that's when the truth becomes clear. They weren't in a random warehouse or house, they were beneath a zoo. Kevin worked there, right under everyone's noses. No one knew what he was capable of. Somewhere else, Kevin hides in a remote location. He's no longer just Kevin. He's become something more. He speaks to his other personalities, united now under a single purpose, to evolve the form of the beast, to reshape the world through pain, through strength. The news of the kidnapping spreads across every channel. Reporters call him the Horde, a man with over 20 personalities and a terrifying new identity. And then, in a diner, we see a man watching the news. His name is David Dunn, and with that, the movie ends setting the stage for a confrontation far greater than anyone expects. Kevin is gone, and now the beast has taken over. He's no longer hiding. The world has no idea what's coming next, but it's about to find out. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Part 2 is coming soon. Don't miss it.
Holy sh**. This is so cool. Ha ha!